President Joe Biden heads to Dearborn, Michigan, pushing electric vehicles for the future. His $2.3 trillion infrastructure plan also calls for more charging stations. But critics fear moving away from fossil fuels could be a costly job killer. White House correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen?
Tracy, good evening to you. The president tonight wants to spend $174 billion for electric vehicles. That includes incentives for buyers, as well as building 500,000 charging stations by the year 2030.
President Joe Biden stops by Ford's Electric Vehicle Center in the huge Rouge complex in Dearborn, trying to spark support for his American infrastructure plan.
Look, the future of the auto industry is electric. There's no turning back.
Ford is building the Lightning. That's the all-electric version of its top-selling F-150 pickup truck. It'll be in showrooms next year.
And I wanted to be here today, the day before you unveil the next generation of America's best-selling vehicle to the entire world, to thank you. Thank you for showing how we win the competition of the 21st century.
But Americans are not quite ready just yet to bail on gas-powered vehicles.
And the American Petroleum Institute recently wrote that a rushed EV transition could lead to, quote, depleted roadway funds as EV drivers bypass the gasoline taxes that support the Federal Highway Trust Fund. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 pandemic, dramatic declines in cases, hospitalizations, and deaths.
Last fall, one of my sons contracted COVID-19. Unfortunately, he is one of the many Americans battling long-term symptoms.
President Joe Biden's senior advisor for the COVID-19 response team urging young people to get vaccinated, saying it's the most important thing they can do right now.
While cases and hospitalizations and deaths are down, COVID patients now tend to be younger.
Also today, the White House announces a presidential memorandum. The goal, expand access to legal representation and the courts. The White House says low-income people have long struggled to secure quality access to the legal system.
Now back to the infrastructure plan for a moment. To pay for it, the president is proposing hiking the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. Opponents fear that would be bad for business. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.